Happy New Year-ish. Welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory. And this is it, the last Draw With Me of the year of 2021. The year that we had looked forward to so much. Remember 2020? Yeah, I know that you haven't forgotten 2020. But boy, when 2020 ended, we were like, oh, thank God that blighted year is over. Now we can finally have 2021. Well, we've had 2021. How'd you like it? Yeah, but that's okay. We have drawing. We've been done a lot of drawing this year, and it's been great. Those Santas, I loved all the different interpretations of Santas, many of which were far less hostile and grim looking than the one I made last week. But nonetheless, we have made a lot of good art, and in a little bit, I'm going to do a bit of a brief kind of year in review. Let's look back at what we've done this year, and reminisce and pat ourselves on the back for doing a huge amount of art this year. I mean, one good side of the pandemic, right? We've had time to make art, and we've made a lot of art, so that's been really good. So speaking of making art, we have this coming up, our watercolor pencil workshop with Kate Lagley. I hope you're thinking about it. It may be, I think it's going to be the last live big scale workshop that we do for a while, I think. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think we're going to be doing smaller ones in the future, which I'll talk about as they come up. But this is kind of our first and first one on watercolor pencils, which a lot of people are curious about. Kate Lagley, awesome artist, teacher, instructor, person. She'll be joining us. I think I'm going to try and get her to join us here on Draw With Me in a week or two to just talk about pencils. So you've got that to look forward to. You've also got Art for All, the podcast. This new season is called The Curious Sketchbook. And I'm joined by my buddy, John Muir-Laws, to just chat about just junk that's on our mind, about art, about brains, about conversation, about thinking, about being a human being. We released the very first episode this week, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback from people. People seem to really like it. I had one person tell me that they've listened to it now the third time. Well, you can listen to it as often as you like, but you can also wait till next week, next Monday, when we release the next episode. We're trying to do it every week. So far, it's been pretty good. And I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it is so much fun to just talk to a smart, knowledgeable friend about just life. So, all right. Well, thank you all for joining me. I see we got lots of folks here, some like Maureen and Carolyn, who are joining us live perhaps for the first time or not for the first time in a while. So thank you all. Catherine, thank you for coming back. Catherine has been absent for a while. So that's another reason to be happy that we're all here. So what did I want to do? Here's what I want to do. I'll be honest with you. I had big ambitions for this episode. I wanted to edit together the highlights of everything we've done this year. And I started working on it. I was working on it, and I was downloading videos, and I was cutting them up, and I thought, you know what? I'm too old. Life's too short. There are a lot of other things I want to do. So instead, I'm going to kind of free-form it like a DJ, and we're going to go back, and we're going to look at some of what we did last year, and we're just going to kind of talk about it quickly, okay? So I want to just go to, where do I go? Here. I want to go here. And just, this is the playlist of all of the Draw With Me's that we've done. And I want to just talk about I think how many have we done? 155 Draw With Me so far. So let's just go back and just talk about briefly each one that we did. It won't be too long, but let's just try this. So do you remember this one? This is a group of guys where I found this photo of this strange band. And we did drawings of them. There were a lot of interesting and cool drawings that were done of the
Group of guys.
Group of guys, exactly. And we tried to figure out who they were, and that was pretty cool. And then we did Inky Dink. Inky Dink, where we drew a squid
Of thickness.
with ink. This is,
And
I was drawing with a
there's
dip
an
pen.
energy that is transmitted down your arm into the springiness of both of those things.
Yeah, I was getting very excited about dip
Brush
pens.
pen is really
So this is that weird
responsive.
squid, and these are some of
In
my
some
favorite
ways, it
drawings that
can
you
be,
guys did with squids. And then we did animals. Aminals, I called them, because we were just drawing very simple kids'
Okay.
versions of animals.
That is fine. All right, I think we have time to do one more creature. Any votes?
Remember those? And what was this one? This was, this is when we drew the human heart. We were just drawing a heart for Valentine's Day. And it ended up being this sort of anatomical drawing in sepia tone
Fresh blood.
of
I want to get out there.
the heart.
Buy some Posca pens.
And then this one was called Autobiography.
Check it out.
This one was Autobiography. Let me zoom ahead. And where we drew every car we could remember having.
That car. I was prone to car sickness, so I remember.
So this is like a memoir of all of our lives told through all the different cars.
Never got a
owned.
license, I don't think. She never knew how to drive. But we would just polish this car.
And let's see. What is this one about? Blindfold. Oh yes, this is
Out of focus in the background.
a blind self-portrait.
I mean, you wouldn't think that was like 20 years of my life. That little kind of squiggly out of focus. Some gouache on this thing later on because I just don't want to get into doing gouache.
That was a strange one.
It's too complicated. And you just have to watch me opening tubes of paint. But I can also see some gouache.
I barely remember that one. This one, Yestertech. This was fun, where we drew all of the technology that we no longer use, all the
I think these
objects.
things
Things like,
have to be labeled because it's. I mean, people may not, even if I'd drawn them really great, really well. You still might not recognize.
Rolodexes and TV antennas and dial phones and slide rules. That was fun. And then here I was joined by Vanessa Brantley Newton, and we drew
gotta
hairstyles.
Stretch out and try other things.
I think that's absolutely true. I think you or her. I guess it's a her, a person. It's a them.
I'm not sure if that's a drawing of Vanessa. I don't think it is, but anyway,
Bit of a woman.
that was fun. And then here we drew a gallery of different people, each in a little frame. Drew.
Unfortunate family tree that we have here.
Yes, it was a family.
Now,
Made up people.
I'm imagining this person is
And then here's where we
seen
drew
in real life.
very
It's
quickly.
not very big.
Very
It's kind of
different parts of the
surprisingly
world.
not very big. But yeah, it's barely. But it's too big to fit on the corner of my page here. So oh well.
I think we had a timer on that one. And here we were just doodling like a kid was the name of this episode.
Lines, borders, all that kind of stuff.
Just drawing lots of the same kind of thing.
This is, it is drawing.
Teacups and chairs.
This isn't even drawing. Well, obviously it is drawing. It's not.
And here is letters. We drew letters.
Because it comes in from the mailboxes.
Or wrote
And then they
letters.
have to separate it and send it out to the right.
A lot of you sent me really nice letters.
A leaf blower, so you know that I'm still here and still alive.
That was nice. And what else? Oh, yes, be a witness.
Thick eyebrows.
Morgan described criminals, and we drew them.
Okay. And then he had a thin nose, thin but bulbous. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
And then he said he
Yeah,
had
totally correct.
black eyes.
Yeah, shiners on.
And here we did portraits again.
Look at another face.
Sorry, when I
then let's
lost
take
this
a-
one. Oh, yes. This was where we had very little time to do a portrait. I think it was like 30 seconds or 60 seconds. No, 60 seconds on the clock to do a portrait, to draw it as quickly as possible. That guy has a great face. Okay, Charlie Chaplin. Remember that?
Grammarly helps
Oh,
you work
no,
more
ads.
efficiently, which makes accomplishing
Not
your
an
work
ad.
goals easier than ever before.
Ads. YouTube, thank you. All right, Charlie Chaplin. That was quite fun. I remember drawing a whole bunch of different Charlie Chaplins. He's such a great character.
Odd. Anyway,
And then Earth Day, where we drew
looks like upside down.
the map
So
of the
there.
world upside down. That was interesting.
I'm willing to go on record saying that.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, monkey.
that was challenging. And then here we forged a Vermeer. Drew that in shades of brown on brown paper. I remember that.
So even things like her expression, stuff like that, not so important. So, I don't have to really worry too much about getting that.
And then gray, where we drew Oscar Wilde.
Darker marker soon.
Portrait of Dorian Gray, and we drew the
Soon enough.
originator of Dorian Gray, creator of
Also
Dorian
maybe
Gray.
some white.
And Cubism, where we cut up
That represents your version of this phenomenon that these cubists were.
So here we cut up a picture
Leave
of
that stuff out to highlight the things that do matter to me.
one of the originators of Cubism, and we sliced up his portrait and we pasted it together, and then we drew the combined collage.
Okay.
And then World Bee Day, not B-Day, it wasn't a B-Day, but we drew bees in lots of different forms.
All right. So is this dry? Oh, it's almost dry. All
Dry.
right, interesting. Good.
In
So that's
gouache
dry.
and
So I
ink.
can.
And here we drew a series. So the idea was, can you draw lots of versions of the same thing, or different versions? So I drew hats. I drew lots and lots of different hats.
Am I right?
Nature journaling.
I'm observing.
Nature journaling was one of our most popular
So you don't
episodes.
really know
You can see a lot of.
what it is that you are trying to
I was
capture.
just studying a
If
little
you
tiny plant.
are ill-informed and frankly just wrong.
Travel prep. This is when I was getting ready to go back to New York. And so I was
From the Fifth
drawing
Avenue
things to remind me of New York, and also getting ready by
I
practicing.
often draw it from the other side, although this is a really nice side. It has the two statues of George W. here. The original George W. Washington, that is.
George Here again, drawing right on a commercial. Arg.
Wow, Stevie, you want to?
Let's turn that volume off. Skip the ad. Turn the volume back on.
You know, I don't want to waste them. That kind of thing.
Here's drawing Fifth
But
Avenue.
Waste them. That's what they're here for. They're here to be wasted.
I quite like that drawing. And what else? Marty Feldman. So look at how that came out. Marty Feldman.
Really strong brow line. Let's have a look at another picture of him.
Yeah, so I was drawing from several different pictures,
It's almost
and I
like
was
he
doing
has
it
a
in different kinds of
corduroy
colored
forehead.
ink. Whew. And then, what is this? This is self-portraits again. Self-portraits.
Like, how did he paint those things? Because I don't think he was necessarily like snapping photographs of himself and using them, but he would like distort himself in all these kind of weird ways with his hands and stuff like that.
It's a fun self-portrait.
And
And then here, Twiglet, I think.
you digging it?
Yeah.
I sound like that character from Sugar Smacks. Do you dig it?
Drawing
I didn't
Twiglet
mean
on the
that at all.
iPad.
I just meant, do you understand what I'm doing? Okay.
And here, drawing a bottle of tequila.
Person to a sketch.
Wait, let me just zoom backwards here a second. Give me a second. Times the normal size on this monitor.
Like, whoa, that doesn't seem
There's
fair at
the
all.
the leaf blower in full fidelity. That's one of the hallmarks of last
Right, I made
year.
it a bit more
and the year before, unfortunately.
I was also thinking is you can
And this
take-
is drawing little
so now I
squares.
have like a whole page of these things. I think it's kind of pleasing. It sort of looks
Drawing
like a
little
weird
things.
graphic novel or like a graphic short story.
So this is using a little frame to find things to draw. Cats. This is when I failed miserably at drawing cats, and I sentenced myself
Changed.
looking at B.
Big
Kleban.
fat body.
Let's have a look at my actual drawing. Here's one.
All right, I got to stop looking at what other people are doing.
Yeah, that was a nightmarish
Things are starting to
episode.
fall. All right.
And here we were doing time drawings
he
of.
does. And so we're going to practice doing that. And we're going to see.
So this is Frank Lloyd Wright, and the idea here was to do drawings in different amounts of time.
What do we got next?
1 minute.
All right.
Do you want to like shake it off?
You mean take a break?
No, just like.
This is when JJ was coaching me from
Why?
off screen.
Why? Yeah. I got him. Nailed him.
Nailed it indeed. All right, and this is a distorted.
The
not
Matrix
again.
changed my life.
The Matrix. I can't wait to see that movie. Actually. All right, let's go to draw with me, please. Keanu. We're done. Sorry, let me refresh that. Arg. All right, so this was this is a bit of a mess, this episode. I'm sorry, but here, yes, this is drawing distortions, drawing a distorted version of myself.
Haven't spent much time with them. I think I find them a little bit more intimidating, perhaps, just because I'm not that familiar with them and because they move slightly
Let's
differently.
move on. Oh my God, there's so many of these. Okay, tigers. Here we do
Additional
Tony the
things
Tiger.
that I'll do are really just a way of covering up the fact that I didn't do it perfectly. So I'll be like, oh, I'll just cross-hatch the hell out of it. Or, oh, I'll put really weird way. This is what you do.
Here I'm explaining how to make a cappuccino.
All right, so we've got the microwave in. 30 seconds have elapsed. We remove... Everybody's freaking out.
I'm embarrassed for you. Truly, like the
All
microwave
right.
was the new low.
Okay, so...
All right, that was a difficult episode to get through. All right, here we have Amos
Look
Lemon,
at
our
what is
tribute to
going
Amos
on and
Lemon,
see it.
the young artist who died very young, and we did drawings in response to his drawing.
And see a way out of it. It's easy to critique and destroy, but that's not terribly valuable.
I was proud of that episode. Fishes. We drew fish. That's where it's at, man. It's quite good fish drawings. I'm being very self-congratulatory today. It's funny looking at these things in the past.
So
You do get some of that stuff going on. Again, not going to get too heavily into it. Bicycles prove to be difficult to draw. And you don't need it. You don't need it to understand this is a bicycle. And I'm afraid if I get really spoke heavy, I would become a spokesman, as it were. All right, this is
Adam's apple. He had on sort of a sweater and a shirt with a collar.
this is again doing an eyewitness thing, but JJ was the eyewitness this time.
And he had a bit more hair than what you're giving him.
More hair, even. Okay,
More like it's puffy on the sides. Like imagine
that turned out to be Bill
yeah,
Gates.
pretty good. And then suddenly he does like something in the last 2 minutes that makes it go pop off the page and become totally dimensional. So, and he's about to do that, and I'm about to not do that. So
When you have this kind of power,
This is where we
Bob
Ross
Anything.
painting with Bob. And here's drawing lots of
see, I
mini
look
self-portraits.
a lot more disgruntled in this drawing because I'm complaining about these damn leaves. And somehow that is sort of shown up in the drawing.
It's like a little accordion book full of drawings of me that I was making. Robots. You know, like why is that not a thing? Drawing a robot with a sweater vest. Reasons, right? And a ski. Yeah, so there we have it. This is a skiing, but possibly deceptively dangerous robot. There you go. You know, who has Thanksgiving, giving thanks. I'm going to write a note to myself. Then I'm going to mail it to me, as I mentioned. And and I did mail it, and my mailman just simply took it and put it back into the mailbox. So I got it the next day, which wasn't exactly what I was thinking. Here we have me butchering the Beatles. There's Ringo, drawn on the iPad. And here drawing my favorite book cover. Honestly, book covers, they're an interesting thing. I mean, I've designed a lot of book covers. They're hard. They're one of the hardest things about doing a book, honestly, is designing the cover. Bird by Bird by Annie Lamott. Making money. Redesigning our own currency. Just as a commemoration of this experience. Leaf blowing currency. And last week.
Meet Suvi.
Oh no.
The magical all-in-one.
Please stop. Thank you. All right. Here I am drawing Bruce Springsteen, and that can get me in trouble. Evil. I'm certainly not going to tackle someone like Santa. Oh God. Try to avoid politics here and draw with me. What do you think? All right, Let me just turn that off. Wow. We did a lot. We did an awful lot. And it was fun. I have to say, almost all of them were fun for me. They were amusing in different ways. But yeah, so if you ever want to go look back at any of those, they are all in that playlist on our channel. There's 155 of them. Boy. I also look back at the very beginning when Draw With Me was much easier somehow to do. It was much lighter, and I would just kind of turn on the camera and just do something. Now it's way more produced with sponsors and all that stuff. But I think it's better. I like it. And it's also longer. It used to be 20 minutes. Now it's almost an hour every time. So Jen wants a leaf blower montage. I know, it's true. I think in the future I'm going to have to bring on our gardener guy at some point, and we can just interview him about the year of leaf blowing. Well, anyway, that was the year. And Grace, welcome to, whoops, that wasn't Grace, but Samantha says that she uses Draw With Me as a resource when she gets stuck drawing. That's great. And then who was I going to introduce? Grace, who's new. Yes, we did so many things. We drew so many things. And that has always been the really the main idea behind Draw With Me. It's not to do great drawings. It's just to have fun with drawing and to recognize that drawing is just, it's just a fun pastime for us. Sometimes you do really great drawings. Sometimes you just screw around. Sometimes you play with art supplies you're not familiar with. Sometimes you draw something you never thought you could ever possibly draw. And that's generally my approach to drawing, which is it's an adventure, and adventures have good days and bad days, and adventures take you to places you never could have imagined you'd end up. So here we are at the end of 2021. Here's what I was thinking we would draw today. Something to just kind of capture what this year has been like. So what did I have in mind? This. So here's what I'm thinking. Why don't we do a drawing of this transition? And this is sort of the iconic way that we represent, the old year and the new year. The old year is this kind of ancient guy with a long beard, like a hipster who hasn't shaven since the previous New Year. Old guy, often wearing these kind of brown robes. Again, I'm not sure why. I don't know if that represents a monk. I don't know what it is exactly, but this is often the way it's been done, is this guy in a robe with a scythe. I don't know if that's because he's like the Grim Reaper. Is that what it is? He's Old Father Time, and is the idea that eventually Old Father Time just cuts you down with a scythe? He looks quite fit here, actually. Look at that lat development there. But maybe he's just kind of old and thin. But he's got a good arm on him, and at least this Saturday evening post drawing. And he has glasses. And then there's the new year, which is a baby. A plump, rosy-cheeked, innocent baby. So yeah, that's the transition. Here's like a modern version. In the modern versions, the baby is wearing a top hat generally. I'm not quite sure what happened, but the old guy's wearing sandals, and he's always carrying around his hourglass. He's got the scythe and the beard. So that's him. This one is from 2006. And you can see the old Father Time is saying, wait a minute, you're supposed to be a cute little baby. And the new Father Time is saying, ha, that assumes the new year won't be another 12 months of the same old foolishness. Well, 2007, you had no idea. 2007 was, that was not the worst year. 2008, much worse. And what we've been living through now, I imagine we can all agree is pretty damn unpleasant too. But yeah, so this is an opportunity to, as Jen says, reminding us to take stock. Yes. So, and here's one I just saw. This is 2020 yelling at 2021. And wear a damn mask. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, why don't we just do our version of this thing? Let's draw our version of what 2021 is, and our version of the upcoming 2022. Like, how do we think that's going to go? How would we do it? At the very least, we can draw an old geezer with a long beard, which is always fun. We can draw a baby, which could be fun. We'll see. And let's just do our version of that and see how we feel. All right. Here we go. Got my sketchbook. I like this little sketchbook. This is a little tiny. It's not tiny. I call it this and that, but it's like it's a little sketchbook that I like because the paper's thick, but it's small. You can kind of make your way through it fairly quickly if you want to. What was I thinking I would draw with? I would draw with a brush pen. And let's get into it. Let's draw. Let's start by drawing the old guy. I might draw them on separate pages. We'll see how it goes. So imagine him having sort of a longish nose. For some reason, our noses keep growing through our entire lives. I've heard tell. Noses and ears. So they keep getting bigger. I don't know if that's what the science is behind that, but bit of nose hair, some ear hair, all of the benefits of aging. Maybe it's got a bit of a thin face. Kind of a stringy beard. What else? He's probably bald. Some nice nicely coiffured hair. He has some wrinkles there, some wrinkles here. You know, he should probably have a mask sort of half pulled off. You know, like he's sort of pulled it down. Because, you know, that's what we thought we could do briefly, right? We thought we could stop being quite so assiduous, quite so vigilant. When it came to wearing masks and the like, and now, of course, we've learned that that's not the case. To our chagrin. And what else? I guess he's supposed to wear a sash. Put that down there, and then I think I'm going to give my guy some. Yeah, he'll be wearing some sort of a monk's robe. He's not going to be wearing a toga like some of those guys. He's just wearing like that. He looks sort of exhausted. He's wearing. I think I'm going to have to just remind myself to do that. So I've got his mask hanging down there. Maybe he has like a little sort of sticker, like the you know, he like I got vaccinated. Got vaccinated. He got vaccinated and he got boosted. And he was holding his scythe. Like that, but it's sort of defeated. I think in general he's sort of exhausted by this year. And ran out of paper, but anyway, there he is. What else should he have? Give me some help here, folks. What do you think? Maybe he's holding his iPhone. Or is he holding like a remote? He's holding a remote control. During the second year of binging. Remember when we were kind of excited about binging Netflix stuff, only to realize after a while that we'd sort of seen everything? Now we had to go back and rewatch Cheers or something. Yeah. So yeah, this is like a year that it's all so many of the things that were new and perhaps slightly different and more interesting about 2020, kind of like we've lost our interest in them. This is just sort of the way it is now. So he's just kind of tired and sort of okay. Now what about the baby? I feel like he's looking over here, so maybe the baby should be here. Baby's is cute and it's kind of like a bit terrified looking. Baby is sort of sitting there like that. wearing a little wreath, a little sash of his own. And he's wearing a little hat. That's what they always seem to be wearing now. I'm not quite sure what that hat is. Is it because it's New Year's? He's sort of looking at him resentfully. I think that's sort of what it's come down to. This isn't really a cartoon, as it turns out, partly because I'm not really a cartoonist, but it's more of, just the fact. A year, an exhausted kind of year. And let's make this baby kind of fat and jolly. Well, he's not jolly, really. He's looking a little depleted already. Maybe it's more that he's just like kind of handing it over. He's like, "It's all yours, kid." Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, he's saying something along those lines, like. He's saying, "Gulp." Funny, not funny. I'm going to give him like a nice jolly sort of. I guess he's supposed to be naked, really, right? But my guy's not going to be naked. My baby's not going to be naked. He's going to be wearing one of those sort of festive terry cloth onesie. That's what I would associate with babies this age. Not naked. All right. And let's see what else. I'll just throw in a few more colors, like throw in a bit of brown. Sort of, it's almost like burlap that he's wearing. But it's definitely, it's seen better days. He should probably have been wearing like sweatpants, actually. Might have been more appropriate. And I'm imagining his complexion should be slightly greenish. And maybe a bit of gray. Yeah, so what do we think? I mean, I think it's going to be better. I think 2022 will be better. I think so. But I'm certainly not wagering anything substantial on that. How about a little bit of a pink face? Forgot this. But it's kind of cracked. There's maybe some sand is poured out of it. That hourglass. It's kind of like a, like a discarded martini glass at the end of a party that went on for too long. There we go. 20. The transition. Happy New Year. All right, that was fun. So, that concludes this year. I don't know if you have any big plans for New Year's Eve. I'm not sure. We'd kind of forgotten that it was tomorrow. That it's tomorrow and not Saturday. Shows how like totally into it we are here in the Gregory household. Will we make it to midnight? No way. No way. We were thinking that maybe we would watch it from Times Square, so that would be at 10 o'clock our time. That seems like possibly reasonable, but I don't think we'll make it through Old Lang Syne. But then we won't be hungover on Saturday morning. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been hungover on a New Year's Day. It used to be a really fun thing to do. We'd go to lots of different parties and just, stay up really late and all that kind of stuff. But then, then I became a man and all that fun came to an end. New Year's Eve is, I think, here's what I like about New Year's Eve. It means that all this holiday shenanigans is finally done. We can get back to just something normal. I've been thinking about New Year's resolutions. I'm not really a big one for resolutions anymore, but it is a time to have as a date to say, you know what, when that comes around, I'm going to get serious. I'm not necessarily going to have serious resolutions because I know I'll never stick to them, but it is at least a time to say, you know what, let's just coast through the end of December. And then when it comes time for the new year, we can just start getting a bit more serious about stuff. Start, thinking about, Jen, it's your birthday. Congratulations. My mother's birthday is the next day. That's nice. Yeah, it is kind of lousy if your birthday is around that time. My son's best friend is born on Christmas. Not so good. So yeah, that is, right. In Australia, it is almost New Year's Eve. So you guys are living in the future. How is it? How is 2022? Please tell us as soon as it happens. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be okay. And, so I said, I'm not making resolutions, but I am making plans. I have a lot of things that I've been thinking about. I'm kind of rearranging a lot of parts of my job and my life so that I have more free time to think and create. So I am planning on, well, first of all, we've launched this new podcast, which is really fun. And that's going to be every Monday. And then my newsletter, which I wanted to just mention again, which is here, dannysessays.com. That is my, the newsletter that I put out every week. And it is not, it's not really a newsletter. The newsletter is the form. I call it Danny's Essays because I like writing essays. I like the idea of an essay. I've been reading E.B. White's book of essays recently, and God, I just love them so much. But I think essays are what I do. An essay is just an opportunity to think. An essay means try, right? And so that's what I do. Is they're tries, they're attempts. They may be good, they may not be good. Some are good, some are not so good. I went back recently in the last few days. I went back and read some of the earlier ones I wrote, and I thought, you know what? They actually weren't that good. So I think they've gotten better. I hope they continue to get better. But I am going to be doing more of them, focusing on them more. I'm also going to be doing more video essays here for YouTube. And I'm going to be teaching a workshop coming up that Spark members are going to get to benefit from, I hope. And also just in general, Spark is just really good these days. I feel like there's so many interesting things going on. It's just such a nice community that it's turned into. And we just have had a lot of good times. So, so if you'd like to get those essays, all you have to do is go there, sign up, and they're free. And then you'll get one tomorrow if you sign up today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of Draw With Me. I love the Draw With Me community as well. I feel like there's so many familiar faces, but I also love it when new people join us each week. It has really been fun to do this year. It's been an important thing for me, the opportunity to get together with other people and to draw and to chat and to make jokes and to have fun. So yeah. Christopher Fernandez, a political visual artist. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. That is nice. Dark art. What kind of dark art? You mean like satanic conjuring? The dark arts? Yes. My art is sometimes dark when I'm in the mood to be dark, but yeah. But it is nice. It is nice to be with you and to spend an hour together drawing. And I look forward to seeing what you've done. And in a second, I'm going to give you the hashtag. For those of you who aren't clear exactly on how hashtags and sharing on social media work, let me explain. Basically, what this means is don't email me your work. That's not really how it works. And basically, what you should do is go on Facebook, go on Instagram, or go on the schoolyard if you're a member of the schoolyard, and just share your drawing and put the hashtag SBS. Draw With Me, and then we will be able to find it. We scour the internet to find everybody who's done that, and then we'll show it next week when I can show your father time and your baby 2022s. So thanks for doing that. If you do, hashtag SBS Draw With Me. So that's all you need to just put that somewhere on the thing. Is that not what I said? Yeah. That's for hashtag SBS Draw With Me. So good. Well, thank you. Happy New Year. And I will see you in 2022. Thanks for drawing with me today. We'd love to see what you made. So please post it on social media or put it in the Sketchbook School schoolyard and make sure to tag it hashtag SBS Draw With Me. Thanks very much to our sponsors, Hanamula and Windsor & Newton. And if you'd like some more inspiration for your creativity, here are 3 things that you can do. 1, subscribe to this channel, and you'll know when I make new videos, which I do every week. 2, sign up for my free weekly newsletter. A lot of people seem to like it, maybe because it's free. And 3rd, watch another video.